These last few years, so much has changed. I've changed. For some people, change doesn't come easy, and trust, I'm usually one of those people. If I decide to watch television, it's usually a movie I've already seen multiple times. And if you're like me, looking back at photos and videos of yourself, friends, and family from the before times, it seems as far removed as pulling up an ancient time capsule. It's such a peculiar feeling. And I don't know if it's dissociation, nostalgia, or viewing things with a historical lens. One thing seems simpler. For me, one of the items that are the biggest invoker of those feelings, or my time capsule, is my nursing school textbooks, circa 2019. Especially one section in particular. Transmission-based precautions. These are used when clients are known or suspected to be infected with infections that spread in one of three ways: airborne, droplet, or contact. Airborne precautions are used for clients known to have or suspected of having serious illnesses that are transmitted by airborne droplet nuclei smaller than 5 microns. These include measles, varicella, and tuberculosis. The CDC has prepared special guidelines for preventing transmission of tuberculosis. So what were those airborne precautions? Airborne precautions use standard precautions as well as the following. Place client in an airborne infection isolation room, AIIR. An AIIR is a private room that has a negative air pressure, 6 to 12 air changes per hour, and either discharge of air outside or a filtration system for the room air. If a private room is not available, place client with another client who's infected with the same microorganism. Nurses and other healthcare workers wear an N95 respirator mask when entering the room of a client who is known to have or suspected of having primary tuberculosis. Susceptible people should not enter the room of a client who has rubiola, measles, or varicella chickenpox. If they must enter, they should wear a respirator mask. For the clients that are infected with these airborne pathogens, limit movement of client outside of the room to essential purposes. It's a surgical mask on the client during transport. Even then, we knew so much. Truths that we ignored. Having to learn all that information, make flashcards, practice tests, actual tests, directly before the pandemic seems kind of surreal now. Anyway, maybe you'll find this part interesting. The proper way to don and doff an N95 respirator mask. So if you're interested, stitch this. What's your before times time capsule?